ABAS Seasonal Bonsai Series. Scene Infinity, take 1.
Welcome everyone to ABAS Seasonal Bonsai Series. We're in May and look at all this foliage and guess what we're going to be doing today.
Can't see the trees through the foliage, so if your guess is as good as ours, what we might do, we're going to find out. All right, our first tree, which is just trying to grow it as fast as we can, it's now about 4 inches in circumference, growing to the ceiling. So we're going to talk about that, and our thread grafts are still alive. All right, our next one is Mr. Ugly, and you can see how lush this is. Like, I love the dark green color shooting out. We're going to defoliate this, and then we're going to find out what's in there. I kind of know, and there's probably going to be some scary moments in there, but we'll defoliate it and see what we've got. Challenger, it's a different variety, so it's growing smaller leaves. We've got a thread, just one thread graft that's taken, so we'll see how that's going. Same thing, we're going to defoliate it, and then hopefully we can cut back to get to where we are creating where we want the branches to come out. And the last one is Renee's, and you can see it's growing a lot slower, but we have all of this new, smaller, this is wonderful because this is slow growth, but it's coming out. Are you going to defoliate it or partially defoliate it?
I will probably completely defoliate.
Okay. And then you'll see it in its naked glory, and we'll deal with what little tiny things she needs to do with that one. All right. First tree is the trident in the pond basket. Growing up there, we've talked about it, and Renee has it, it's pretty shaded. And you can kind of see it's growing, but it should be probably even more lush. And so she suggested I take it to my house. So to take it to my house, it has to fit in my Subaru. So I took the measurement of my Subaru. So we're looking at 31 inches. That's 31 inches from there. So that puts me right. So I'm going to cut here and here. And I can fit it in my Subaru. But as soon as it starts growing again, that should be, yeah. I have to bring it back. I'll manage. You should see that headliner in my Subaru. So yeah, it won't matter. Okay, so cut.
It was growing very well. It was just growing at the top.
Yes. And I'm going to cut this one here. And when you consider what Mr. Ugly looks like, the way it grows, it's going to take off again. And I could probably leave this alone because I can put this wherever I want to. And you see this one, so weak. And I'm hoping because I did that, because I would kind of like this branch right here, and I would like it to bud back a little more at some point. Although it will anyway, but I want that to grow. And it's all tied down, so it's going to travel well. And that's all. Oops, I'm going to seal these. And that's it. That's why it's so nice to have undeveloped bonsai that you spend 10 minutes on and walk away, as opposed to the really finished ones. All right. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's all defoliate. Oh my God. Okay. Trident number 2. Mr. Ugly lives up to his name. So one thing I've noticed, I looked at the original picture. This was not there. This huge growth over here. So another thing tridents do, they surprise you and just like to bulge anywhere they can, and it like that. So we're going to re-look at that. I can't do anything now. Look at that when we repot and try to slow that down. And I don't know why it happened. Maybe because of this growing strongly up there. No idea. So we've kind of looked at where the front is. My original plan, the plan, was to make this the new apex, pull this forward, and cut off this big, huge lump that was served its purpose. It really thickened things up, but now it's awful. In fact, if you look at this, can you see the center of it right there where we have wounds and wounds and wounds, and it's swelled up like tridents do. So this was going to be the front. I thought, because, oh good, we can curve this around. But then this little guy showed up, which was a good thing. So now we're thinking the front is going to be here. This is going to be our new apex. Still going to cut that off, which is going to be nice because we have this branch. This is going to come around. And if you circle around, this is below it. So we can make a cut across from here to here, a slight angle. So this big guy over here, I now no longer need it. We're going to slow that down by cutting that off. So let's do that. So I'm just going to go first. Took out the videographer. Timber. So that's one cut, but that's not far enough. So we're going to go all the way down. The saving grace is they grow like weeds. So I can cut it down to this little guy. I'm going to go one more. Because this is a swollen spot. So this is going to be, am I good? Yeah, no problem. So I'm going to cut that off as much as I can. This is going to grow. This will grow. I'm going to probably try and keep it somewhat smaller. And then the other good part is in the back. Sorry. I have all these nice branches that have come out. Isn't that nice? So my back is saved. I've got a back. All right, back to the front. And this is healing. So that's not a problem. Oh, the other one, we might as well cut this one off too. Yeah. This is in the back. This was a sacrifice to make it bigger. It's bigger. The wound above it, there was a wound, is healed. So I'll probably have to get a concave to.
You want a concave?
Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Yep, I need it. So you see where this healed, it was concave, but you see how much it's swollen? So I have to redress this one to try and get that to heal. So this one right now is basically flush. Ow. I thought it was that way. I thought it was. Whee! We're flying. Are we good?
I don't know what it's doing.
Okay. All right. So now we're concave.
So let's draw a line on there.
Let's
where we're
draw
gonna
a
make the cut.
line and take it off the turntable. Okay, so but first, so it's going to go. And this beautiful straight line. And then this goes back up, and we have to miss. So is that doable? It's a suggestion. It kind of looks like it is. We just have to keep watching it to make sure when we go across that it doesn't. It can hit that a little bit. So we're going to have two big wounds to heal. Or well, one big one and then connect it to that one. Is that good? Got it, Renee? And you're going to start from here over.
Yeah, I want to protect. I want to make sure I don't damage that little guy.
I will hold that down. Oh,
I would
off
just,
the
yeah, take it off the
off the turntable. We don't need another variable. Can I swear? Oh. Am I allowed to swear? What? I said, am I allowed to swear?
Swear? Yeah, you can
Like,
swear.
damn. Is it in my hair? Waha! Look at that. Isn't that nice?
So now we can
I can chip away.
chip away with the
Chip away.
chip away my hand.
That was something. That hurt. I would have been screaming. It does move in the pot.
Yeah.
It's
It's moving.
not just, yeah, not just at
Oh,
the, around the edge, the whole
The whole
tree.
tree.
What, battery assisted?
Something like, we could take the Dremel and
Take
do the
it down that way.
Yeah, take it down like that if you'd like.
Yeah, I would like.
I would like. Okay, we have tools. Let's use them.
Jeez.
Where is my Dremel? I still have my safety glasses on. Excuse me. One moment.
I've got
We have to
safety
set a good
glasses on.
example here. Da-da-da-da.
How do you start it?
You have to hold it with both hands.
But then hold the.
Because it kicks. It'll kick to the right, so you start at the right and go to the left.
Start right and go that way?
No, the
That's
other way.
My other left.
Yeah.
It's okay because that one kind of tore down a little bit.
I don't know if maybe.
You have a bigger one?
Well, I'm just thinking of one of these other. Where'd that other grinder go?
Huh.
That should take it off the fastest.
I'm worried. There we go. Because the bark is peeling off a little bit. And I have to make this concave?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna.
Oops.
See?
That's it.
Yeah, that's why you can't. Yeah, do the concave part and then I'll get the edge.
Oh shit! I got to put my glasses on so I can see.
Okay, now I need the center out. Okay. You can see the rings.
I was just thinking, you see the growth
You
rings.
can see the growth rings. Okay, so now I'm going to just kind of nip the edge.
Nip the edge.
going to use putty.
Putty.
Putty. Oh, that worked pretty well. This is still kind of a little bit of a mess right
Didn't
there.
realize how dull that other one was.
Well, you
Yeah.
could see it almost looked round.
It almost looked round. Yeah, I've used it a lot, so
And they don't
probably
last.
can just throw it away.
As expensive as it is, it doesn't last all that long. Okay, I'm gonna. Oops. Bam! Get out of my way.
I wonder if Vince has a way of sharpening these things. He probably does.
Then at least there's some space between this wound and this wound. That's pretty small. That should heal quickly. So the other, since we're here, the other thing we need to cut. This is as thick as I want it. So the front is there. This is pretty thick, and then we're going to let this grow out really strongly. So I'm going to cut off this back here. And then I'm also going to cut these short because I don't want this to grow out. I want it to ramify, but I don't want it to get thicker. So off this all comes. I was going to cut that one off too. Yeah. And this one, I love the shape of this. This is really nice. But it's bigger than this. I'm just going to slow it down. Same thing. And by the time that gets big, this will be bigger. Okay, this one, I'm going to let this grow because this all has to heal. Take it a little bit. There. Okay. And this one we're going to let grow. We're going to cut this back a little.
No,
That
let
grows.
it run.
It's got a long way to go.
It's got a long way to go.
But again, looks better for now. Okay. New apex. Long way to go. This is really thick. That has to heal. But you've seen how fast it grows. And we're just going to let this take off. This we're going to get slow down because it's really thick. So I'm just going to keep this down to nubbins. This I like. I'll slowly let this grow as this grows. And that should be okay too. I'm going to put some wire on that. So our after picture will show it with a little bit of wire. And in the back, we cut off this, which we have to seal all of these. And this is going to grow out. This is going to grow out. That's going to grow out. So we have all of these little guys. And we'll probably kind of keep them a little on the slow side because the main thing is this. And repot in the spring, see what happens underneath all of this. It looks better.
It's amazing.
Major surgery. And that's the front. Okay. All right. Challenger, we spent some time discussing the challenge of Challenger. So we've a lot of confusion going on. We decided to start with the easy stuff and kind of reevaluate it as we go. So one of the simplest things is our root graft. It's been on here for over a year.
Over a year, yes.
And it was one of the weakest ones. But we're going to take a chance and go ahead and
Go ahead and cut that guy off.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take that guy off.
ta-da.
So that was the easy part.
You want to cut it one more
One more time
'cause,
closer.
yeah. If we can get the angle. Yeah,
Ankle
yeah, there you
closer.
go. Okay. And that was going somewhere back here. And we're going to assume it worked.
We'll find that out in February.
Yes.
When we repot.
The reveal. Number 2. Obviously, this is all cut in. So we're going to cut this wire off. And I'm going to just, I don't need to go all the way up because I know that's coming off. So. Okay, so even that's enough. So where do we cut this? We want, the height is going to be somewhere here, but this doesn't have taper, so we need this to shoot out again to make taper. So obviously we don't want that. We can cut it here, or we can cut it way down there. So I think we decided we're going to cut it there.
Just a question.
Question. Yeah.
If we want this, do we want this to thicken more?
Well,
This section.
since we are going to cut this off,
Yep.
This is already somewhat a little on the thick side, and that's going to grow out. I think we want it thicker.
So this we would want. So should we then not go ahead and let this run and thicken this?
I thought we already discussed this. Now
Well, we did, but I had second thoughts.
Second thoughts.
At the last minute.
Can we cut it to there?
I think we should just let it grow.
A little bit. All right.
Maybe trim off the stuff that's down closer and let this run. I'm sorry, I had second thoughts.
I wish we were online so we could get
feedback.
50 other opinions. That's okay. That's okay. Well, see, it's like I feel like I've been burned so many times by, oh, I'll let it grow. And the next time I look at it, it's so blown out. So you have to make sure you are there to follow it.
We may want to look at it again, in like July.
So I'm at least going to cut it where it curves right there. I mean, I can't take it there.
Oh, okay.
That's really not going to matter because this is going to shoot out. That's going to shoot out. But we're aiming for it to be somewhere in here below this knob. That definitely is going to come off. So we can wait another year because we're going to do a bunch of other stuff.
A few months, maybe. A
few months because I like the curve there. I like that, and then this coming out looks nice. Mm-hmm. All right, step 1. We agreed to disagree, and we've got it where we want. We've compromised. Number 2. What are we going to call number 2? This. Are we cutting that off? Or this first? What thread graft? Oh, yes. Well, that's number 3.
Okay. Actually, yeah, it's still attached, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it is number 2 then. Okay, thread graft. Going around through here. Let's flip it around and see. Here it is, and it's still really weak. And I took away the cut paste, and it kind of looks like it might be okay, but it's a kind of a crapshoot. But what did happen, I have this under here, which I'm just gonna, that's not gonna do anything. I think there's another one under there. Yeah. Okay, those will come off. So I have this, and I'm planning on taking this thing off. So why not just take this off? And then we may or may not, if it took, we could take a chance and say it took, and I have this. If it takes, great. If it doesn't, I don't care. I need to cut off this also. This whole thing, but that's part of the thread graft. So our executive decision our unanimous decision.
Any second thoughts?
I'm looking around. This is your last chance.
Last chance.
If I can zoom in to show
that and that.
This is a little fatter than that.
Okay.
Maybe. Can you point that out?
Yeah, this side, once this side is thinner and this side is thicker, to me they look almost exactly the same. Dodie thought
I thought
this was a little thicker. At least it's growing nicely, but that doesn't mean much. It looks like it's healed up. but there is a little space right there. I'm willing to take a chance because these are kind of nice. And it could even bud back some more. Okay. Okay. So let's cut this one first, since we're here. How about the big boys? Right there. Go ahead.
I can't.
You can't.
Oh my God. Do that.
Between the two of us.
Like between the three of us, we have one good body.
Yes. I don't really need that. It's coming forward. I've got, this is what I want.
Mhm.
So that, I've got big, boop, boop. Part of this is dead, isn't it? No, how about that? It's not. I've got this little guy underneath. Do I care? No. Okay, now the concave, my knob cutters. During the break, when you weren't here, we were talking about what the names of all the tools are. More indecision. So do I need to make this concave? I think I'll be okay. So there we go. Then I might as well, if I cut this and clean up this wound.
Moment of truth.
Boing,
Moment of truth.
boing,
Yes.
boing. All right.
It's gonna make it or it's not.
Actually, I can't get into there that way. We have to use what?
Cut off this stuff and give it more access. Get rid of that first.
Get rid of.
This part first. I'll give you more access.
Ah, okay. Scary. But this is really, I don't want to cut that. So actually though, if I cut it right across there, I should be able to miss that branch. Like maybe.
Boy, there's just no room there. There is no room there.
But see, it's coming right there. So if I cut it,
Why don't you cut
Right
this
there.
knob off just to access?
Yeah.
That way you
okay, so tell me if that I'm okay. Am I okay right there?
You are okay right there. Oops. Got a lot of dead stuff in there.
Oh, no kidding.
Is
Hold
that
on.
not gonna work? Right?
There.
Oh my gosh. Probably a lot of dead wood in there.
Right, if I take this little
Well,
bit.
the flat ones, maybe the flat.
Hold on, there. Okay. Yeah, see, that's all
It's all dead.
dead. And then,
How about this part?
the flat ones.
They probably need to be sharpened.
Oh, so close.
Getting into dangerous territory.
Yes, we are. Back to what about your little, the nice ones?
guys?
Yeah. I'm trying to come at it from the side. It's this part.
Your
Now I need to
neurosurgeon
go
now.
from.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is a nerve.
And this is
That
a
if I
nerve.
cut this
If you
nerve,
do this, the patient
It's like-
dies, so
no pressure. I can't handle the pressure. I feel like if I could just get something,
back behind there.
just like if I could go.
Ah.
Hold on. Nope. No. But how about my smaller ones that are like that? My little ones. Ah, what about the sawzall?
Smaller, yes, it is.
So if I cut right like that, and I'm not going to cut Wait, let me, like that.
I didn't go all the way over. I go,
Okay.
here, let me get this out of your way.
I thought that was blood. I thought I saw red. See, now I'm right there, and I can see I'm past. Am I past it down below, or am I just past it? There I am. Yay!
We all can sigh of relief.
Yes. And then I'm putting this way back, right? Because I have to take all of this.
Mm-hmm. Still calls for extreme caution.
Could you hold that up there? Look at that. Surgical skills. So now all I'm doing is concave this and then I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, it's not dead.
It's not dead all the way back in there.
It's dead a little bit. What is?
I think that's where we tried to put a thread graft.
No doubt.
I think it's a thread graft. An old one.
An old thread graft. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll go around the edge of that, so that might. You can almost see. You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go a little bit around this edge.
This poor tree.
It's not a beginner's tree.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
gee. It's a practice tree. So look at all the things we've learned not to ever do again.
One is pick a better tree.
Yeah. Okay. We're good.
You want to take
That's good.
some of
That's good. I can't see it from the front. Let's see.
Here, on this side would probably see it better.
Because I've got a big. Yeah, this has to be.
Can you see? Do you want me to tip it up, or do you want to tip it up?
I
at
want
all?
this gone.
that.
Aren't we cutting that off?
was
That was part of the
part for
plan.
discussion.
Yeah, are we okay? Like that?
Yeah, a little bit
Little
down,
bit
yeah,
down
down in there
there.
a little bit.
So one more little bite right there.
Well, take a look at it and see what you think.
Oh, that's not bad. I think I can live with that. And it's still dead. Basically there.
So why are you keep going?
So
Keep finding dead tissue.
because I keep finding dead tissue, and that dead tissue is not going to heal over. You have to have live tissue to heal over. So this can be dead in the middle as long as all the way around it's alive. You kind of try to keep the edges smooth. That's not bad. Could run a knife over it, but this tool is pretty good. And then we can put cut paste on it. Yeah, still a little rough.
Yeah, it's still a little rough.
Dremel.
Dremel.
Let's Dremel.
Dremel.
The smoother it is, the better it's going to heal. Actually, that So what's it look like from the front now?
Pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
Yep.
Wahoo!
Wahoo! Well, it looks so much better without that there. Yeah, you can see the difference there. You really can.
Sticking my head in front of you so I can see. Okay. Yeah. So
My
now
goodness.
we've got to heal that wound. We need to let this grow. We can still cut that back. I don't want to cut it all the way, just cut it there. You would cut it all the way. Because we need to have these grow more, which means we have to cut it back. And there's nothing over it. All the way, Renee?
I don't think I'd cut it all the way. I think I would just cut
This and
them back. Yeah, maybe
like that.
just slow that part down so the other ones grow
Yeah.
stronger.
Actually, I can do, yeah, I'll do this one too. It'll grow
Because we're going to have to cut back to there.
eventually.
Yep.
But this is pretty strong. This should be happy. Okay. Wow. And who knows what will happen back here. We may. Oh, now I can get there, can't I? Ooh, and Renee has the Dremel. Can you get? Can you get the Dremel right?
So what do you want me to do here?
Clean that up.
Clean it up.
Concave it.
Concave it. So you want to just keep these two separate then?
I want to keep those two separate.
Okay.
A little bit more. See that right? That dead right there? Actually, that's probably fine. I just want to get a little. Okay. Boy, that's what?
You want me to do this one too?
No, because I already went farther than I probably should have.
Ah, okay.
Done. All right. Back to the cracks. Puh.
This out of the way.
Eee. It probably would be better if that was all the way. If this was all the way off. It would be better if this was gone farther back. Lives or dies. Yeah. Are we going to cut this off? Can I say it? Did I say that? There we go. I'm happier. Still concave, right? Somewhat. Okay. Wait, all right. Yes, I could have got it. Okay, better. Yeah, less obtrusive. All right. We're going to leave this to help this heal. a little bit. We don't like it. We can't.
Question.
That's a question. So if we cut it here to see if it buds back, not that we would use it, or we could cut it out there, or leave the whole thing. We talked about a thread graft. But when you look at this and this are kind of nice now, aren't they? The first, second, depending on what we do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got all this back here to create stuff back there. This is going to bud out. I think we're okay. But I would like to help that heal. But I also desperately hate it. So what if I cut it right there? Thoughts, Renee? Leave it
Well, that would
way
be
out here.
a fail safe.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell? It's not like it's going to be put in a show anytime soon. In our lifetime. By my 90th birthday, I expect to see this. Yeah. So I said, there. Pa.
Okay, compromise.
It's always all about compromise.
Okay, so
our next big step. So we're leaving this. This is going to grow out. So then our next big thing is our.
Let's put it on the table.
Okay, yeah. It deserves Christmas pipe cleaners because it's a special area. Actually, you can almost see a tree now. But this thing is so heavy.
This has to come off.
We thread grafted this.
Yes.
So the question is, when you turn to the back, what's going to grow? We tried to thread graft that failed. Do we put a thread graft below here? Or do we just hope for the best and build it all from here? Or right there. Right there.
Yeah, it could come through.
There to it's almost straight across.
Right,
so we could have something in the back.
Yeah, almost straight across.
Does that mean we could cut this off then?
I'm not sure I'd cut the whole thing off right now, but
I don't think so either. But I do kind of want to take.
So which one could we use for thread graft?
Oh yeah, this one. That's why we saved it.
That's why we saved it. I knew there was
I knew there was a reason. See, it can go right through there.
right through there. Yep.
And then we kind of have to cut that off so that won't be disturbed. So it's like there. Okay. Okay.
Thread graft, okay.
Thread graft. And then we're going to take this wire off. Off all the way right now, although we desperately want to. And because we've
I'm
done.
recording now.
Okay.
Whatever.
So we did a thread graft here. Turntable.
Turntable.
I'll start over. All right, we did a thread graft here. This is where we made it. This is where it comes out, so we can have a back branch, and we have this over here also. But we needed a back branch. So our plan was to cut this completely off. But we've decided to do it more slowly and more safely. So this needs to grow, but we also, if we put another thread graft coming out down below this, because this is the main branch, so it would be coming out. Is that the spot? There?
I thought you were doing up there.
Oh, up here.
Up here, yeah.
Okay, yeah, up there.
So coming up.
So it'll be coming up here. So then we will need to leave part of this to make sure that everything is flowing through here to feed this new thread graft. So part of this will be cut off, but we're going to leave that little section on. All right, so thread graft. One more thread graft.
We're going to come back.
And we're going to come back. All right. I've never had quite so much deliberation and discussion about a tree in my life. So between the three of us, I don't know how many we're talking. How many thread grafts has this tree had? I don't know. A lot. And we had some pictures, maybe about 12? Probably about 12.
And that's just the branches,
Yeah.
not the roots.
That's not, yeah. So those are all gone now. And now we have 3 new thread grafts, and we're hoping these are the last thread grafts. We've kind of whittled it down, and they're 3 colors. So this is the pink one that's going to come up out of here, because this is going to be cut off. And so that's our primary branch, I believe. And then the red one comes over here because these have to be cut off way too thick. This is at an ugly angle. So we wanted a graft here coming out. This is the back. And this is an old graft. This is an old graft. So we do have one old graft. And this is for the front. So this will come out. This will come out. That's our front. But we didn't have any back. So we have this one in the back, this one in the back. That's it. But we also have these twigginesses here. And the one old graft that is still growing out right here. So the last thing we need to do that we can do, because we can't cut anything that has a graft on it, we didn't use this one, so we could cut this off. When we can cut this off, because even though we want both of these, we want to make sure that the sap keeps flowing up to feed this, keep that growing, and this, and this. So we can cut it off to there and cut these short. And this is out far enough that, fingers crossed, they should be fine. And that's, all right, that's the last thing we're going to do is cut that off. Can I do it with, no, it's heavier than that, isn't it? The beefy guy. So I can't see. Where am I? Right. Okay, aim me. Do I want to leave those 2 right there? Yay! And then cut these shorter.
Probably cut them shorter.
And these also, yep, shorter, much shorter. These shorter too. Because this way it won't get in the way at all. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Challenger goes back on the bench.
It's looking better.
But we see, and then eventually this will be cut off. And this is growing so that we get more thickness. And this is going to wait for this and this to grow. And then this eventually will be cut off. And don't touch the thread grafts because I've yanked one out before. Yep. Hands off. All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Oh, and we have one more tree.
Okay, so here we are with our more refined tree. Still working on developing ramification, defoliated, so now you can see the structure of the tree. So basically what I'm going to do now, once I can see the structure, is I'm going to go through and just do some silhouette pruning to encourage ramification and branching. I'm also going to go in and look for places where I need to thin things out. That takes some time, so I'm just going to kind of do that on my own. Do some thinning out and also do some wiring to position branches into a better spot. Like in here with this little guy, you know, this needs a piece of wire on it to kind of bring it up to give the branch more of a 3-dimensional look rather than a flat pad-like conifer look. We want it to look like a deciduous pad. So some of these things are going to be wired up to give it a better structure. Be pruned back just a little bit, not a lot, just to do some silhouette pruning, thinning. that's about it. It was repotted in February and it's been fertilized. And these things that are growing out here on the ends, I have to decide if I want these things to thicken up at all. I'm looking here, probably not want to thicken this at all. So I'm going to cut these guys back. Probably don't want that to thicken anymore. I'm going to cut that back. There's also some wire that I put on back in February that I will be taking off before it cuts in. Yeah, I think all of these are thick enough, so we're just going to cut those guys off. These, I might want these to thicken just a little bit more. So I'm going to leave those on to thicken a little more. I might cut them off between now and the next time that we have our series. It just depends on how quickly they thicken.
Why did you leave some leaves on?
I just left some of the interior leaves on, the weaker areas, to kind of give those guys a little bit of a head start on the stronger areas, so they get a chance to, you know, that they will continue to grow a little bit faster than the stuff that's been defoliated on the outside. It's called outer canopy defoliation. You take off the strong outside stuff and then leave some of the weaker inside stuff so that it gets stronger. Because these are the guys that we want. These are the little guys on the inside are the things that are going to add to the ramification of the tree to get these little guys to grow. So we left some of the little stuff on the inside to get stronger. And I think that's about all we're going to do with this guy. Well, just a quick look at the junipers. This is not the time of year that we're going to do a lot of work on them. Haven't really done a lot of work since last July. Basically did some repotting. We repotted this guy into a pond basket to get it growing faster. Right now he's been fertilized. We've sprayed for fungus, and we'll be spraying for spider mites and things like that on all of them. But nothing to do right now. We're just letting them all grow. Just wanted to show you how well they are shooting out new growth. So that shows that they're nice and healthy. So when we're ready to work on them in July, we can do what we need to do. So compare this one to this one. This one has, you know, is our pre-bonsai that we've been working on. It's starting to look more like a bonsai now. It's been fertilized with Osmocote. It's really pushing out a lot of new growth, which is what we want on this stage. This stage of tree is our more refined tree. We've been fertilizing with BioGold to keep the growth slower. As you can see, it's starting to spike out, but very little. The spikes on this one are a lot smaller. There's a lot more ramification, a lot more growing tips on this, so that keeps things growing slower, which is what we want. We don't want them to extend too far because we're doing our pad development. And so basically, they're going to go back on the bench and we'll work on them in July.